What's good, YouTube? It's Asian with Cards in my face again. I know I did like a kind of like in the car vlog kind of video, maybe like before Nats, and I was like, oh, I'll continue to do this. But I know it's been a while, and I'm probably not going to do another one for a while, depending on how many views or likes this video gets. But yeah, I just want to do like a discussion because all I pretty much post is deck profiles and stuff. So yeah, I'm on my own from work. I have a decent commute, so I have time to talk to you guys about stuff that's happening in Yu-Gi-Oh! A game that I'm pretty passionate about. So, and I know if you guys are subbed, you probably are too. So yeah, I wanted to talk about a topic about like what to play if you don't want to play the fire deck. And I know the fire deck is like $1,000. And I know some people, they want to buy that deck, and they want to be as competitive as they can. So to each his own. So this is not like a video to like bash anyone who's playing that deck. But if you don't want to spend $1,000 or your tax return on one deck, then I wanted to discuss with you guys what you guys think are like some alternative options to not playing that deck. And I know there's some obvious ones out there, but there's also some ones that I don't think people are really talking about. The obvious one is I've been yawning a lot too because I worked early this morning. But yeah, the obvious one is Voiceless Voice, and that one also too can be kind of pricey. I think lows are like 60 or 70 bucks. But compared to the fire deck, then that's like pennies. So you can play like Voiceless Voice, and I think Fluanderies is another one that's it's a shifter deck, but it's the best shifter deck because of normal summons. It doesn't trigger a lot of the interruptions that Snake Eyes has. And Robina's crazy, can play through Ash. It does Lucid Droll, which is like in everyone's main deck, but a lot of Fluandery players I've seen are playing like cards like D Fisher, and if you draw a D Shifter also, that can stop the Droll, so it's not too bad. And you can play around Nib to some extent, so that's one of the best shifter decks, I think. And you can play you can play the trap card, the Featherstorm, so that's a good card too. And yeah, that's a pretty good shifter deck. And let's see what else I did. Yeah, Voiceless Voice, that deck. Kashtira, there's a guy in my locals, shout out to him, Miguel. I wonder if he's watching this video. I post a lot of his decks because he's a cool player. He's only been playing for maybe a year and a half, 2 years, and he's pretty good at the game, so I like to hear his insight a lot about. And he's like, with Miguel, like he when he plays a deck, he like sticks to it, so he's like he masters like all the decks he's played. And he's currently on Scareclaw Kashtira. That's a really cool deck, so check out that video on my profile if you guys understand that. That's a really cool shifter deck too. But yeah, that's a really good shifter deck in my opinion, because you just play a bunch of big beat sticks, and Birth can be really good against the meta decks. You can play a lot of hand traps. You can make Baron, and yeah, like all those Kashtira monsters are like they're just in archetype main deck boss monsters. They're just crazy. And also a lot of the best XYZs in the game are rank 7s, like Big Eye. You can make the Flare Metal to burn. They have the Dark Armed Exceed, Zeus. Shang Ira is a crazy boss monster. So yeah, don't sleep on that deck. That's another. It's not the most budget deck, but I know the cards are being reprinted in the Rarity Collection too. So if you guys can find someone who wants to get rid of that deck, by all means. And like a lot of people are tired of the deck, so you can probably find a good deal on it. Like if people have those cards, they're probably playing the deck. So yeah, that's that. If you can find it for like 80-85%, I would pick it up. It's a pretty good deck. The only bad part about that deck is it's not good against the other shifter decks. Like it's really bad into Cash, and yeah. So I'm not into Cash, into Flu. So it might not be the best deck. But if you expect a lot of Snake Eyes, then go for it and play that deck. So yeah, and also another shifter deck that a lot of people aren't really considering is Vanquishal. I played against it at my locals a couple days ago, and the guy was really cool, really good player. And he was telling me about like if you don't draw shifter, then the deck's kind of dead. But I mean it's really good at like grinding, and you draw a lot of cards. So if you want to try that deck, then you could. I'm not sure how the matchup is against Fire King, but it is a cool budget alternative. Play shifter, play a ton of hand traps, one card starter. You can play a bunch of like rank 4 engines, so you can make Dweller. That's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool deck. Nothing like Exo Sister. That's a pretty budget deck. I think Magnificos are like 20 bucks. So if you didn't want to play, that's another shifter deck. I will have other decks that aren't shifter decks. But yeah, that's a really cool deck. And I've seen some people also mess around with Sky Striker. They've been getting a resurgence in popularity, just because a lot of their interactions are good into Fire King and the Fire deck. But the only bad thing is they have Kagari, which it can just be like taken with Hida, which is kind of sucks. But that deck's pretty cool. You play like Widow Anchors and Shark Cannons. Those cards are always really cool. So that's a really cool deck. I guess Labyrinth to some extent. That deck's kind of pricey though, because I know you need like Chaos Angels and stuff, but that's another cool deck that you can play if you want to play the Fire deck. There's also Vanadium. That's a deck I was playing for a little bit. I love that deck a lot. That deck's really cool. I've been testing a lot around with that deck. So I might, if you guys want, I can make another profile of that deck. I want to play more Vanadium cards in my deck, so stay tuned for that if you guys are a fan of that deck. Pearly, that's the deck I played at Locals. I lost like the last round. If I would have won, I would have topped. I lost the last round to a guy maining Strike in his Fire King deck. Like I literally I hand chopped him twice and he passed on like 2 back rows. So I was like, oh, you know, I don't have to worry about that. And then I like double strike, like killed me, and then he killed me on the clapback. So yeah, but I think Pearly's really good. You can play Shifter, you can play D Fisher, play a ton of non-engine. It's a Zeus deck too. I like Zeus. Zeus is pretty cool. And a lot of times like Noir, like a double bounce Noir with like draw 4 in your standby phase is like, a lot of decks can't have that. And then it has like the recursion with the field spell and the continuous spell. So yeah, it's a cool deck. And yeah, another deck that I've been seeing a lot of play is Eldritch, like Eldritch Traps. And I know a lot of people hate that strategy, but into the Fire King deck, like I know IDP is a really good card into the Fire deck. That's another cool deck, pretty budget friendly. There's Dynamorphia, it's a cool deck. And a lot of these, like, I know some people are going to be like, oh, these decks get destroyed by the Fire deck, which they probably do. But if you tech out your deck to beat those decks, I think it'll be fine. The deck like Dolce is pretty cool too. That's another Shifter deck. I'm trying to think of other stuff. It's just going to be yawning the whole video. I think today Jesse Cotton, he uploaded a video of Marincess, and that thing is super budget. And you can play like 21 card starters and then 20 non-engines. So that deck's pretty cool too. Any deck that you can play a ton of non-engine is really good. Like if you can play up to like 15 to 18 hand traps in your deck, you're probably will stand a decent chance. I mean, you might not beat the Snake Eye deck, but if you open up the right combination of hand traps, you can stop them from playing. And also another thing to harp on with like Eldritch and Dynamorphia and like Labyrinth is that those decks don't lose to Nib. They don't lose to Droll, which is like in everyone's side or main deck. And no one's really playing, in my opinion, I don't see anyone playing evenly matched. They're playing Cosmic Cyclone, which, I mean, that if you set 5, like Cosmic Cyclone's not gonna hurt you that much. So that's another thing that's really cool. And they got the new Iron Thunder trap card, which is a crazy card, I think. So that's a good card for trap decks. So yeah, I'm trying to think. There's that stun deck that was played by Asian Persuasion. I don't know if you guys saw that video. That deck's pretty cool. Put like Necro Valley, just a bunch of like crazy floodgate monsters. That deck's pretty cool if you want to try that. And I think that's about it. I mean, obviously, like whatever you're comfortable playing, just play and like just tailor it to the format. Like cards like, you know, Bell, Droll, Crow, Soul Release. I know people are playing. Make sure Cosmic Cyclone is somewhere in your deck. I think Ash should be played. I don't care what people are saying. I think Ash is like mandatory, especially if you're playing like a locals environment. Ash is crazy. And oh yeah, branded's good. Any like runic variants, good. Anything that plays like the Chimera cards are pretty cool too. Just play like whatever you're comfortable with, honestly. I know people are saying this is a tier 0 format, which it kind of is, because like the higher up you go in like the tournaments, you're gonna place fire decks. But also at locals, like some people don't even have those decks. So, you know, you can, you know, don't be discouraged to play in your local tournaments if you don't have the fire deck. Because I played, I was at a 6-round tournament on Saturday, and I think I played 3 fire decks, and then the other 3 were like random rogue decks. So that's, you know, be it what that is. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching this or hearing this vlog. You know, if you got, or not vlog, what is this, like, I don't know what this is, just a video of me rambling. So yeah, guys, expect some content this coming week or next week when I go to locals. I'll try and post some stuff, or if you guys have any decks that you want me to profile that I have, let me know. Usually the decks that I've had like in my videos, or like if you go to my recent videos, and if you guys want like an updated version of the deck, just let me know, and I can give you guys that too, because the format literally changes like every other week. Like the people are like having new texts and stuff. So yeah, So thanks for listening to me talk about Yu-Gi-Oh for 10 minutes. And yeah, guys, please like, comment, subscribe. And if we get like maybe 100 views on this video, I'll think about making more in the future. So thanks, guys. Peace. Have a good day.